Hi. So now I'd like to take some time to kind of do a facilities tour for those of you that weren't able to make it. It's going to just be a slideshow presentation of just some of the pictures that you could have seen along that tour, a little faster, but still kind of hit the high notes. So this is roughly kind of what we had our principals go through with our group that was here on that Wednesday night. So this is our overall map. These are the current buildings we have. This is our high school building over here on the east. This is our middle school building off to the west, and then this is a potential connection, which is currently a parking lot. And we're going to start our tour right at the main entrance of the high school. We'll do a lap around the high school virtually, if you will, go across the parking lot, and then do a quick lap around the middle school and call that our tour. So this is the entrance of our high school. This is the main entrance. There is a buzzer outside, and then we can unlock this one door right there from the inside at our secretary's desk. Um, Now, this would not be classified though as a secure entrance because once you're buzzed in, you have access to the rest of the building right here. And we also don't have very good sight from this point to the front door. We do see, when someone comes in through here. Ideally, though, this entrance to be a secure entrance would buzz, and the only option would be to come into the main office, have a visual check from a secretary, and then be assigned a visitor ID badge so that everybody knows that is a visitor who has been approved to come into the building. So that's a secure entrance and one that we currently don't have in the district. Um, this is then, if we kind of continue along into our kitchen, again, the high school was made in 1964, and most of this kitchen is 1964. So along this wall is our fridge, that is wood, paneling on that. That is original from 1964. These two ovens right here are actually new. We had three stackable ovens we sold last year that were from 1964 and finally starting to fail. We were able to get new ones and replace those. But most of the rest of the equipment in here is original. This pot that we have for boiling large amounts of water, that is 1964 as well, as long as a lot of the electric and mechanical behind here. Um, Again, this is our fridge. This is the main fridge for the school district. As you can tell, that is, again, from 1964. And then in the back, you can see where our server room is, which is a very unique situation. All of our servers come in to here. So anything that is IT related, so our phone system, our internet, all of the servers that house all the information for the school district. So, a few $100,000 in here in this room. Um, it's connected with the kitchen, and it's in actually the same room that our freezers are. So we have two freezers. These are newer, and when I say newer, maybe 20 or so years old. We have one here and one over here to the side. And then there's our servers. There's our IT for our phone. All of that's right there. Another angled picture here. All of our equipment, and it's separated by a bar so that we don't, run into it or hit it with anything in the food service department and take out a phone line or whatever it might be. But these things, the servers and all of the IT equipment, need very different climate than a freezer. Freezers put off a lot of heat to cool down the inside, whereas we want to control the humidity and keep these things cool over here from the tech side. So these are not ideal placement. We would like to separate these and have a separate room, like just put a wall here and kind of shift the kitchen slightly as we expand out. This is our main hallway for our high school. A lot of these rooms, these are original. This is what the rooms look like. We're not proposing any major changes other than maybe some paint in some of them, things like that. The FCS room though would be one that we would want to change out. So um, I this looks like right in here. This is probably the style of kitchen in 1964, and it's still there. Those are like metal cabinets. Um, it functions, it's good, but it's probably time to have a facelift and to make this more modern so that we can accommodate more groups in here, working on the whatever projects we have going on. Um, the other side of here, I don't think I took a picture of this, but we have a section of the room that is dedicated to the old sewing tables that we had. And they have outlets that are coming up about 4 or 5 inches out of the ground. We have had issues with the electric in here where a short has happened from the design that this had in 1964. And that short takes out this classroom and also part of the kitchen. So definitely in need of some major love in there. Now, if you continue down that back hallway, you'll come down to our tech ed wing, which part of that was added on in 1999, the shop there. This is the center classroom for the tech ed wing, and then we have through this door is our metal shop, which we're not proposing any major renovations. We do want to talk about the ventilation in there because we have had increased participation with our welding classes. We'd like to increase the ventilation associated with that. But off to this side is our current auto shop, which is honestly just become storage. We don't have the interest in just straight up automotive. We still do teach small engines. And this space, we use for that as well as the classroom next door. And then we do have a number of these tables that we have constructed to house wood projects so that they can stay closer to this classroom. But these are just kind of small group settings for the tech ed teacher and those classes. The rest of this, we've kind of relegated this to storage, but it does still have the ventilation system in there to be able to accommodate like a wood shop or anything else if we wanted to look at that from this standpoint. So we'd really like to potentially renovate this space to be able to accommodate wood shop and make a tech ed area. If you continue down a back hallway, you'd come to this is that renovated area in 1999. This is just a normal classroom, but this classroom is now our choir room. So you can see this was actually taken last year around winter when we were in concert season in December. So we have the risers in here, but this is no larger than any other classroom. Same size ceilings versus the simple fact that this is a choir room, which kind of requires a different size space for the voice, the noise that comes with that, and having a group in here on the piano. It'd be nice to have some practice rooms if that was available as well for kids to practice in individually. This is our band room currently. This is a larger room, obviously. We have practice rooms behind this wall here, but this is dramatically undersized for the size band that we have. Usually we'd have chairs on each one of these, risers, if you will. And this is completely full. This is packed shoulder to shoulder with our band in here. You can tell that these are normal size ceilings by where these instruments are located. This is not the correct size, especially with the amount of output noise that is produced by a full size band. We do utilize this for middle school band and high school band. All of their individual grade classes and lessons. All of this uses this space, and frankly, from just a sound output, this space needs to be bigger, significantly higher ceilings, and for just the simple space of how many kids you put in this classroom, we really need to expand this. We have a great music program, and we should take care of them. Our fitness center area. This was taken again back in December, so we have actually moved some of this equipment out. You saw that picture from the shop. And we've tried to sell a little bit of that to open this up. And we've changed some racks so that we can accommodate closer to a full class now. Because with the way we had the equipment in here in the prior years, we couldn't safely have a class in here. Now I think we're getting there. But this is the size fitness center we have, and it's kind of like a large hotel fitness center, if you will. We've got a few treadmills, we've got some free weights, but that's it. Not really truly adequate for a full community to be using or a full athletic team. But we could potentially have some room to grow ourselves here. This is also right around our holiday concerts, what we had set up. So you can kind of see how the gymnasium looks when it's set up for an event. So right now we can just kind of get the choir up here on this stage. We can get the pep band on the stage, but it is a little small for the full band. And then this is how we lay it out for a concert event. In this proposal, we would see kind of this half become the cafeteria / performing arts center, and we'd widen out this stage. We can widen out some of the stuff behind here, move this wall a little bit out, and we should be able to accommodate the entire performing band up here on this stage. We have a wall between, and then we could pull out seating as well to increase the seating capacity in this area for our performances and expand out where the current bleachers are as well. This side then would become the band room with a wall between and some practice rooms between for noise cancellation purposes, and then some storage here. Currently, again, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You count the top row, bleachers tall. This is not large enough seating capacity to host WIAA playoffs when we get to the regional final or any sectionals beyond that. So in 2019, our boys basketball team did earn, I think, a 1 seed, and had the right to play the home final in our home gymnasium versus a team from further away. We could not host. The WA called and said we had to move the game. So in 2019, that game was played in Prentice, a rival school district, although we do co-op with them. But we had to host in a different school, and Prentice got to make the money from the WIA for hosting that event. And the team had to play in, not their gymnasium. Um, so, that's another thing that we're looking at with this size of a gym. Um, Also on this, our locker rooms, again, these are from 1964 and pretty much probably the same as they were back then. Just highlight this really quick. Gone are the days of this type of shower system in a school setting or high school. Um, uh, yeah, kids aren't going to use these. And they should. Maybe we do have some that still do use them, but this is just not what happens anymore. So we are looking at redoing our locker space in this process as well to make this something that our students could use. So this would be if you exited out of the side of that like back band and gymnasium hallway. This exit, this is what it looks like or looked like over winter break when this picture was taken. And this is what our students are traversing over. This is just simply how flow of water runs, so we can kind of plow this as much as we want, and it's going to still settle right in here. And then this is ultimately the parking lot during this time. This is another angle, so this would be like the front walking path from the high school to the middle school as well. But this is what our students are traversing over the year. And then this would be a current picture right now, early in the morning, and what this path looks like in our parking cars that come in and out to drop off kids, pick kids up, etc. And then there's the middle school. So as we continue into the middle school, this is what the main hallway looks like. Um, One note here, we did try to fix some of the lighting. So you notice the lighting looks different in a hallway in our middle school. It's just a little drearier. We did replace these lights last year with uh, what am I looking for? Um, Yep, LED lights to try to increase the lighting of these, to make this pop a little bit more, to give it a little more life. It really didn't, have the major effect that we wanted, so we just replaced this hallway and this hallway by the gymnasium. And that would be another thing we're looking at, is just trying to get a little more light and vibrancy just in these hallways. We also have a lot of, kind of like a slightly different red than we have throughout the middle school than is the maroon of Rib Lake, which is kind of interesting as well. This is our current wood shop and what we have laid out here. So you'll notice the actual auto shop would give us a little bit more space for woods in comparison to this. And this is where the proposed fitness center could be located in the front, adding an entrance off to the front here as well. And then another note on here, these are a lot of locker rooms down this hallway. We would be renovating those to accommodate both gyms if we did this. And then this would be a space that we would also potentially renovate. This is the middle school kitchen area. So all the food is cooked officially over at the high school, but we do warm food over here. We do clean over here. We do have to serve and do everything again over at the middle school. So this again is mostly 1980s. This is a dishwasher, for that school. These are our serving areas. On the other side, you'll see our warming ovens. These are also dishwasher and warming ovens are on their way out. So again, does it make sense to keep this space over here, invest money into a duplicated thing, a duplicated appliance, and these are not cheap, versus kind of redoing the entire kitchen over there and investing once into those serving things that we need. One sized dishwasher. We would obviously need more larger ovens, but our new ovens are adequate in cooking, and then we can invest in a slightly bigger warming oven set or whatever it might be over there, so that we're not duplicating the same level of equipment. The middle school has one set of open bathrooms for students, and these are again from 1981. Um, these are the bare minimum ADA or handicap accessibility, because these were not designed with that in mind. Part of this would be looking to fix that, um, so that this is accessible, and by putting in more accessible bathrooms in the addition that we build on, we're able to accommodate that better, versus really having to knock out and move walls. We would still do some level of renovation here, but we wouldn't have to have as big of a focus on this if we're able to construct something new that also accomplishes that. And then this is our Spanish classroom in the middle school. We have one in the high school as well. This is used once or twice a day. I think we might have a sixth grade transition class as well that's in here. So just an example of a duplicated classroom. This is a duplicated art classroom. We have an art classroom as well in the high school. These are taught by the same teacher, the art classes and the Spanish teachers as well. Um, so again, we use this for 1 or 2 periods. Do we invest in both of these art spaces? Or do we use the one where we just invested money into a kiln and its exhaust system, and and put more money into one space? Same thing would be true with our FCS room, which our proposal calls for this actually switching to a science classroom. Our science classroom in the middle school again is in need of a renovation. The countertops and the plumbing are on their way out. They have seen the kind of the end of their reasonable life, and this has all of the hookups already in it, so we can kind of move this out of that daycare area where it currently is, and put instead of renovating that science classroom, renovate this, and this would function better. It's actually, I think, slightly larger than that science classroom is currently, whereas this room again is used 1 or 2 periods a day, and the other FCS room in the other school. And then again, kind of the big thing is safety. That's our big focus point. The middle school probably has the worst secure entrance that we have. There is again a buzzer outside. I am inside when I took this picture, and I can kind of see into the main office, which is down the hallway significantly further. But once you're buzzed in, you can have any hallway you want to go into, unless you go into here on your own choosing. Whereas we would want to put a secure entrance so that you're buzzed into the office and the office checks it. Um, One other advantage here, right now we have two separate offices, and this is where that secure entrance would be. This is my last slide. So one secure entrance, we're doing this one time without having to renovate two separate spaces, and we can do it correct from the get-go if we build it. Um, put the office here, and then bring both secretaries into this office, but then specialize. So one secretary could be doing attendance and taking notes from parents, doing the phone calls and the follow up around, general attendance, etc. Versus right now having two teachers doing the same, or two secretaries doing the same job, having a family calling in, but they're both, doing it redundantly, um, answering the same things, coding the same things, when it could be done by one person, saving us time, and having a second secretary being able to specialize and handle all of our busing, handling all of our activities, handling all of the other things that help run the school district. But then we have one centralized office, move the district office down here as well to free up that pre-K space that we need for the elementary school, and then have our connection so students are walking inside safely to and from their classrooms throughout the school district. So that is a quick tour. Again, feel free to email me or call me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. I appreciate it.